Before I begin, I just wanted to say thank you for everybody who has watched and subscribed recently. I started uploading these again on YouTube because the new Steam version has come out, and I didn't really expect that many people would be watching. So it's great to see that there are a lot of people who are enjoying this content, and so long as people keep enjoying it, I'll keep uploading it to YouTube. Thank you to everybody who subscribed, and I'll let the stream start right now. I think we'll do that. I think maybe we'll embark next to a tower, because we haven't seen zombies yet. This might be this next fortress might be a very short fortress, because we're going to embark next to a tower. It's in the same universe as the. This is in the same universe as the previous fortress as well. We're going to make sure that we got the right origin civilization, because I want to have. Oh, actually, there's an area up here. We could do like a frozen sort of embark here. There's a volcano here. It's a shame it's not a haunted volcano. That'd be cool. You can spend ages just generating worlds. So the Palisades of Twinkling would actually be the best civilization for this. I think this is the same civilization that we had for our last fortress. Yeah, because our last fortress was all the way down here. And then our civilization was all the way up here, which is why one of the reasons I think our migrants were taking so long. But this time, our migrants, our origin civilization is like right here. Our fortress will be right here. So yeah, we'll embark here. If it's haunted, remember no shellfish. That's not a guarantee, you know. Oh, I don't care about like aquifer. Oh, I do kind of care. It's annoying to have to deal with, but still. But yeah, if you have a haunted biome, there's a 50-50 chance that the biome itself will be what's called reanimating. And the first thing we're going to do when we load into the game is we're going to pause the game and we're going to check to see whether there are any undead creatures walking around on the surface, because that's like the easiest way to tell if it's a reanimating biome. Is to just pause. You know, if there's a skeletal anything, if there's a zombie anything, then we know it's a haunted biome. That being said, the reanimating properties of the biome are strictly, at least as far as I'm aware, I could be wrong on this, they're strictly limited to that biome. So that means that if we were to build our fortress under the non-haunted part of the area, it wouldn't be reanimating, but everything else would be. Because this fortress here is going to cross across two different biomes. So yeah, just it's one of those weird things. Anyway, that's enough. That's enough rambling. So we've chosen a new location. We're starting a new fortress, and it's time for us to prepare our dwarves. And the first thing we're going to do is just grab our miners. I should probably save a profile for this, but I can never make my mind up about exactly how I want to do this. I always kind of change my mind each time I do it, and it always looks a little bit different. Like the basics are always the same. I always have two miners. I always have one woodcutter who's a carpenter. I like to have a couple of planters who are also brewers. I think that's sufficient. Last time we embarked, we tried to take a dwarf with some military skills, but that just didn't work out for me. I think it's better just to not bother this time. We're not going to bother taking any military dwarves with us. If we die quickly, then we die quickly, and then we just have to start over. Or embark somewhere else, I should say. Trying to do early game defense against zombies is a waste of time. All right, we'll go with. I'll put engraver on these because one thing I might try and do is we haven't built a tavern yet, so we could build a tavern in like the haunted forest and make like poets just get killed by zombies as they're trying to walk into our fortress to perform and do poetry or whatever it is they do when they go to the tavern in Dwarf Fortress. So we've got two more dwarves here. We're not going to take a fisher dwarf because it's too dangerous. Do we take a beekeeper? Do we take a beekeeper just for the sake of it? Or is that just me being indulgent? Okay, well, we definitely need like a woodcrafter anyway. Like this guy, no, I didn't give this guy woodcrafting. So we need a woodcrafter and a stonecrafter. Woodcrafter, stonecrafter guy. And then we have one last dwarf. Take the beekeeper. Yeah, okay. We'll make him a beekeeper. We'll do that. We'll do beekeeping, the most valuable of skills. We'll make him a beekeeper. And you know what? Let's also put some points into wax worker. Brelix wants to be the beekeeper. Okay. B for Brelix. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, okay. So let's take some animals with us. I'm gonna go on the assumption that I've got that I'm lucky in that we don't have a haunted biome, so I am gonna take animals with me. There's a good case for saying that taking animals on a haunted embark is a bad idea, but I don't care. We'll just try and protect them. We'll take some chickens with us. I'll also take some sheep with us this time as well. We're gonna try and go full. You know what? Let's go full balls to the walls on this. We'll take a couple of sheep with us as well. Items. We're gonna take some more drinks. We're gonna take extra food because isn't Armok supposed to be the player? That's my theory. That's my personal theory, and I think it's a popular idea that a lot of people have. And I can even tell you I can give you some specific ideas about why that is. But before I do that, one thing I was going to mention, this is a useful tip for people. If you don't think you're going to get access to silk anytime soon, then take a bit of silk with you, just like one piece of silk with you. And the reason for this is because if you get a strange mood early in the game, the strange mood dwarf can demand that he have access to silk, even if you've never made silk before. So he could demand access to silk, and if you don't have a way to quickly get it, then it's a pain. So just take a bunch of silk with you. I'm also going to take some leather with me because if it is a reanimating biome, we're going to have a hard time making it. Then I'm going to get some drinks. I'm going to deal with the names and stuff, by the way, just as soon as we're in the game. I'm not going to do it on this screen. I'll do it on in the in-game stream. Yeah, so we don't have Dwarven beer. We'll take Dwarven beer. Oh, yeah, sorry. So Armok being the player. So, as you would have seen on the previous streams, dwarves can generate gods. So, like, a dwarf... So like your dwarves will generate different gods, you know, when they're about. And the idea is that basically, out of all the possible names that a dwarven god can have, there is one name that is impossible for a dwarven god to have because the way the names are generated is based on like name lists. So it's actually impossible for It's actually impossible for a dwarven god to appear who has the name Armok. It's actually not possible. You can see that. So if you no matter how many gods you generate in Dwarf Fortress, none of them will ever have the name Armok. There will be no God of Blood in your game. So yeah, that's my theory. So that's why I think that Armok is supposed to be the player. You know, that's my fan theory. I should do like one of those awful game theory videos. You know, game theory. God no. If I ever do that, and someone has to stop me immediately. Okay, we've got so many points. This is the tricky thing. We have so many points and never know what to take. I guess we just take more alcohol. We'll take more dwarven rum. Take more ale. Take more beer. Yeah, there we go. We've got 1 point spare. Is there anything that we can buy for a point? I think we can buy a bag of sand. Yeah, there we go. We'll buy a bag of red sand for a point. There we go. A spare anvil. Oh, that's a good point, actually. Maybe we should have done that. It's too late now. Well, it's not too late, but I'm gonna trust that we do not need a spare anvil today. A dwarven outpost, you have arrived. After a journey from the mountain homes into the forbidding wilderness beyond, your harsh trek has finally ended. Your party of all 7 is to make an outpost for the glory of all Kogashatbeth. I didn't change the name of this fortress, by the way, so whatever the name is, it's random generated. There are almost no supplies left, but with stout labour comes sustenance, whether by bolt, plough, or hook, provide for your dwarves. A new chapter of dwarven history begins here at this place. Ebalitis, revered stakes, strike the earth. Okay, so we immediately pause the game. Open up this, and we go to our creatures tab of the... Okay, nothing, no, we have no zombies, which is good. We have a couple of ostriches over here. It looks like, Okay, so like look at the map up here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Dead. This is all dead. Dead, 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 dead barley. Dead. I bet this is a dead tree. Yeah, that's a dead tree. Dead. Okay, so you see here, this area here. This is the area where it's not haunted. So you can actually figure out pretty easily where it's haunted by looking at what's dead and what's not dead. Because the normal grass here, that's all not haunted. But over here, this is the haunted area. So that being said, do we build our fortress in the haunted area? I think we do, but we're kind of on a plateau actually. We're kind of on like a little plateau. So I guess we need to figure out a good spot to dig out. So let's zoom out a little bit so we can have a bigger look at this. There is a colony of honeybees. That is a good sign. They're the camels. Maybe we make our fortress on this edge here, like facing the wilderness, or maybe we make it kind of facing towards the forest, so we've got easier access to trees. The only thing actually is whether the has the tree root problem been fixed? Sandbags are useful. Seems like a homely place. Brelix is in business. Yeah. Okay, let's go to naming the dwarves then, and then we'll start doing this. So I'm just going to quickly do this. I have to manage my reward requests. I've got 6 requests, 8 requests. So that means that some of these are a couple of days old. So yeah, I need to tick these off. All right, so we've got 5 names. So actually, this was from yesterday. Sneaky attempt to buy Kaladin to get a dwarf yesterday. So let's see. The first person who wanted a dwarf was Vummer. We don't have a weaponsmith or an armorsmith. So you can have one of these dwarves or you can wait until later. It's up to you. Then we've got Freeport. He didn't say who he wanted, so I will make Freeport the farmer, who has immediately gone to go fishing, despite the fact that I don't want any fishes. Then we'll mark that as complete. Then Brelix wants to be a beekeeper. And neither of our miners have names, so Chosro can also be one of our miners. Okay. So Voma says he's gonna wait. Okay, that's fine. I won't redeem it then. I'll just keep it in the queue, and then as soon as we do get one, I'll have it there ready, and I'll remember that we need one. But that's all the names for now. So there's a couple of different approaches we could take. I think what we'll do is we'll start on this side here. There's actually one good advantage to starting over here, and that's that no trees are growing here. So we don't want to build our fortress where trees are growing, or at least directly on top of it, because I don't know whether the old bug has been fixed. I'm not sure if you guys know what bug I'm referring to, but basically there's a bug in the game where if you dig out underneath a tree, like if you dig the tile that's directly underneath a tree and then you cut down that tree, what happens is that the tree leaves a hole where the tree used to be, right? Which basically creates holes into your fortress that you had no idea were there. So you had no idea that these holes existed, and then you find out. You only find out when like a goblin invasion happens, and then there's like a secret hole in your fortress that you didn't spot, and then like a goblin jumps down and starts killing everyone. I've had that happen. I've had that happen on stream. It's been in the game for a long time, but that doesn't mean that it's not a bug. There's been a lot of bugs that have been in the game for a long time. I think it's a bug because like in past versions of Dwarf Fortress that didn't happen. It's only in recent versions that it kind of happened. The thing is that it's been like 2 years since there's been an update. So, when I say that it's like a recent thing, I'm saying it's something that started happening about 3 years ago. Oh no, Hagels is here. Hey Hagels. Okay, let's go downstairs. There is an aquifer here. I'm not sure where it is. I'm hoping it's not going to just be on the first floor here. Doesn't look like it. But I'm going to dig down here, and this is going to be where our farms are. Or at least our starting farms on this white sand. Alright. And the first thing that we're going to do as well is we're going to just start digging out like a corridor, I guess. Well, let's do it let's get rid of that. And let's start digging out. This is just going to be a very general purpose, very early sort of something. Yeah, that's slightly bigger. Yeah, so this is just going to be a very early stockpile. Oh. Okay, this is one thing that annoys me, because at the start of the game, it'll auto-assign somebody to be a fisher dwarf. We do not want any fishers. It's so dangerous at the moment. Nobody does plant gathering either, although no one will do plant gathering unless I set an area for them to do it in. So yeah, this is going to be our stockpile. Hagels, if you want a dwarf, by the way, feel free to claim one. I can't make any guarantees about you surviving though, so. Yeah, it's the other thing. I don't know if there's a way to disable this because it seems that every time you start a new game, you start getting these pop-ups again. And I was looking through the settings, but I couldn't see it. So, like, I mean, I don't need those pop-ups at this point, right? I think I figured out the game mostly. As it stands. So let's so we've got our basic stockpile over here. Back up on the surface here, we will dig out a the haunted. Can you hear the haunted music in the background? So this is going to be where we place the depot. Alright, and then they'll start hauling stuff inside. We're still waiting for the announcement to say, like, freakish weather. I haven't seen any freakish weather announcements. We still haven't seen any undead animals either, so that's pretty good. Steve's Gaming. Dwarf Fortress isn't a game that's difficult. It's a game that is, like... I don't know, I should explain that a bit better. It takes a while to figure out Dwarf Fortress, but once you figured it out, it's not that bad. And the new Steam update, it really lets you get into this game. It makes it far more accessible than it's ever been. Like, you know... You came here because your lies detector just exploded. What do you mean your lies detector just exploded? When have I been telling lies? Alright. Yeah, the other thing we should do actually is just pause the game F1 over here and we'll destroy the wagon. We don't want to have the wagon outside. It really looks like we're not going to get any freakish weather. I'm probably speaking too soon. We need to get some we need to get everything inside. And if we're going to make farms in this level, let's start by getting our animals inside as well. We can't get our sheep inside. They're going to have to just sit outside for a bit, and we're just going to have to hope that we don't have, like, zombie thralling weather. I think one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to have to... Oh, actually, what we can do is... if we do have zombie weather, we know that it's not going to go over here, because this is not zombie land. So we can make a zone here. And I'm just going to build a pasture outside here. So just over here, I think. Like right in the corner. They're just going to build a pasture right here. Just going to assign this as a pasture. Accept. And then we're going to assign our ram, and both of our horses to it. So that they're going to go stand over there. And that way, if a cloud of zombie smoke does appear, they're not going to go stand inside of it and turn into zombies. I don't want like a zombie horse like charging towards my dwarves. Although, again, like the fact that we haven't seen any evidence of zombie smoke yet makes me think that we're not going to. It makes me think that we've probably looked at, again, we've beaten the 50-50 odds, and we're not in a haunted biome, which is no, that's the way I prefer it, honestly. Okay, and I'll do build a stockpile room up here. Get rid of that. Place that there. So this is just a this will be like a farming room, so we'll put farms in here. We will get zombies because we're next to a necromancer tower, Brelix. One of our neighbors is a necromancer tower, which means that we will be due a necromancer invasion probably pretty quickly. So the other thing that we want to do is we want to start cutting down trees. Just a couple of trees, but we want to cut them down so that we can build a bridge and start locking the fortress up if we need to. Because you can have zombies turn up really quickly compared to other kinds of invasions. So that means that we want to make sure that everything's secured. Why is everyone in the chat giving me such a hard time today? This is so unlike you guys. You guys are normally so nice to me. Maybe my I don't know. Maybe I'll have to go and just focus entirely on YouTube content. Even though my YouTube content is just the streams that I do here uploaded on YouTube, but okay. Every time this alert comes up here, I'm gonna panic until I've seen some evidence that there's no weather. But that's just summer now, so yeah. Alright, now they're saving the game. I have autosaves on at the end of every season. I think, no, at the end of every month, so we are going to have a lot of autosaves, but that's just after the last crash that we had, because we did have one crash during I think the first stream. So I have autosaves on pretty frequently just because of that. Although I do think that they fixed a lot of the most egregious clashes. So yeah, hopefully that's not going to be a problem. Alright, so we have got some wood as well. So once we've dug this out, we'll start building... In fact, let's start actually just building a wall. The other thing that we want to do is we want to designate the destruction of any ramps. So let's just start clearing these ramps that are near our fortress. But that's actually to dig a channel. I don't want to do that at all. Let's actually clear all that out, because that'd mess up the fortress irreversibly if I did that. No, I want this one here. I want to remove all these ramps so that it's a sheer cliff face on this side here. So stuff can't climb up easily. Yeah, we're gonna get plenty of spooky music. Just having a look here. Creatures. Okay, just camels. That's good. Play. This is you know what? They added this new feature here where you can set priorities on specific things. I did that wrong. I don't want them to dig that out. So let's tell them to prioritize all of these. I want them to do this room first before they go and dig more junk up upstairs. There you go. Yeah, this is a new fort, Kaladin. That means that if you want a dwarf, you can have one. Because you're no longer dead. You know. And again, this is in the same universe as well, so there's a possibility that if your dwarf survived the last fortress, they could show up in a migrant wave, in which case there would be two of you in the fortress, and wouldn't that be interesting? So that's always a possibility. I thought you'd request the dwarf, Kaladin. You can be the other miner, how about that? I don't think you'll be coming back. No, you're going to be resting there. You've got your own little Barland's tomb. You know, it's like It's very Lord of the Rings, actually, isn't it? When you think about it, you're going to be sitting there, you're you know just there forever, and like 500 years from now, some hobbits are going to come and knock your corpse into a well, and then start something terrible. So yeah, I mean, at least you'll contribute to history in that sense. Let's go workshops, farming, farm plots. So we're going to build some farm plots in here. So build one there. We'll build another farm plot next to it. Farming, farm plot. Keep building this after we've done that. So we'll do one there. Do one here. So we'll have one big farm plot and a couple of small farm plots, to just so that we can have a variety of food to grow. And then the other thing that we want to do is we want to make our two stills here. So we'll place one here. Place the other one here. Yeah, this time this time we don't intend to open the caverns. Like, the only reason we opened the caverns on the last one was because of the lack of wood, right? We didn't have access to any wood at the time. So now we're not going to open the caverns. We're going to we're going to avoid opening the caverns straight away, which means that we'll have access to more. Well, it'll be easier to defend initially. Although this area, I think, is more dangerous than the last place that we embarked. I actually think this might be a more dangerous embark. Did this wrong here. What we'll do is, because I'm not sure, there's an aquifer here, so I'm not sure where the aquifer is. So I'm just going to tell them to start by digging these down, and then if we spot the aquifer quickly. No, so the aquifer's not on this level. We're not on easy mode. We're very much not on easy mode, okay? When have we ever played Dwarf Fortress on easy mode? You know, come on. We always try unique challenge. Well, actually, we have had some pretty easy fortresses. Not going to lie, but we do try interesting things. I think I like to think I do. I mean, maybe you guys disagree. Maybe I'm a hack fraud, but that's fine. So yeah, we're going to build this here just out of larch wood, and this is just going to be our gate to control access into the fort. And then the other thing I want to do is I want to make sure that we've got the trade depot up in time. I'm a bit neglectful when it comes to trade. Sometimes I forget to build it, so I want to get that in early. So yeah, and so that we know that this is not flooding, so we'll dig down another layer and we'll see if the next layer is flooding, and we'll have to, it's going to be a very slow and painful dig, so at least until we know where the aquifer is, and then once we know where the aquifer is, we'll be able to deal with it. But yeah, it's a bit of a slow process digging down, unfortunately. But the only alternative is just to not dig down at all, which is obviously not something that we're going to do, right? Okay, we actually know where the aquifer is. So the aquifer is this level here. So our dwarves were attempting to dig down, and then they cancelled the dig because they felt that the dirt was damp. So we're going to tell them to resume digging. Hey Dennis, welcome. Okay, so this is an aquifer. So in order to block off the light aquifer from flooding, we need to dig out all of the sides of this. And we need to start building walls inside here. So, yeah. There used to be, Dennis, but a couple years ago they added a distinction between an aquifer and a light aquifer. So it used to be that, like, if you embarked and you had an aquifer, you needed to know very specific tricks in order to punch through the aquifer, right? So you had to know very, very specific ways in order to get through the aquifer, because if you didn't, it was basically impossible to do that. As a consequence, basically, well, they then added this new distinction, which is between a light aquifer and a heavy aquifer. 9 out of 10 aquifers in any Dwarf Fortress world will be light aquifers, which is what we've got here. And as you can see, the water fills up very slowly, which gives us time to build the walls. That gives us time to add the walls in. Previously, though, you know, if you had an aquifer, you had to do very specific tricks in order to break through it. Now it's a lot more forgiving, as long as it's a light aquifer. If it's a heavy aquifer, then it's still very difficult. So the answer is avoid any heavy aquifer. Like I can't even remember the tricks. They all involved like either collapsing things on top of stuff or just doing all sorts of nasty business. Like I hated them. Like I just hated them because my view was that unless you wanted to do something specific, like if you had a very specific idea where you wanted to have infinite water, then obviously having an aquifer was preferable, because you can generate infinite water from an aquifer. Basically, that's like that's the upside, right? You know, it's infinite water. It's free water forever and ever. Like we can build a hospital on this level here, and then we can just channel down, and boom, we can have a well without having to do anything else. You know, so like, yeah, it's really useful for that, but in other respects, it's kind of annoying. Migrants have already arrived. It doesn't feel like I've been going for that long, so I'm surprised. But okay. So we've got Asob and Lakrul. Hopefully we don't get any more, because I actually don't want any migrants right now. Our fortress is nowhere near prepared. I haven't even set like stuff for them to make yet. Like we're still getting through the aquifer, so let's just tell them to grow pump helmets here. We'll grow pigtails here. And then in this last one, we'll grow. Let's grow quarry bushes. I think this time it's been a while since I've done quarry bushes. Quarry bushes are very efficient food. I've missed these frequent and enthusiastic Eurista streams. It's like we're entering a golden age of Eurista streams, and the added notification sound authenticity is too good. Is this what people come here for? Is just to listen to me like ramble on and then get tricked by notification noises? I mean, if that's the content that people want, then you know, so be it. I will try and provide. All right, so now we're going to find out whether the next aquifers can span across multiple levels. So like we can have like. But yeah, so you can see here, just by placing these walls here, by building these walls, this can no longer flood. So yeah. I had you on in the background while I was in the kitchen and came back for the notification. Oh god, it's good to know that, you know, like it's good to know that you know, I'm still capable of that after all this time. I only want my miners to dig, because I don't want my miners to do things like yeah, so there's damp stone on this level, which means that this is also aquifer. Hopefully this isn't going to be like a really deep aquifer and we're going to be here for ages just doing this, because you know, like we need to get downstairs so we can get access to stone so that we can make a mechanism. I don't think we can make a mechanism from are there any surface rock? Is there any surface rock at all? Yes, there is this chalk here, so we could dig out some chalk over here actually if we needed to. Might do that. We need a mechanism. We need 3 mechanisms, actually. Yeah, 3 mechanisms. I've done that wrong. Well, it'd help if I did this right, wouldn't it? You know, it takes even longer if I do it wrong. You can't dig around the aquifer. You can dig around the aquifer if you're... You can dig around the aquifer if your fortress spreads multiple biomes, and if the aquifer is in one biome but not in the other biome, because it'll only show up in the biome that it's present in. But I'm pretty sure that in this fortress, the aquifer is spread across the entire map. So basically, on this level, you know, from here, I don't know if you can see my mouse cursor. But from here to here, you know, up in the whole map, this level is just aquifer, this entire level. Same for this level. So, yeah, there's not really any way through it. There's not any way around it, sorry. The only way through it is to dig. But that's fine. We just take our time. We do it slowly so that accidents can't happen. And so that we don't accidentally flood. And we might need to cut down some more trees, but, you know, that's what trees are for. Can you embark at the base of a mountain and tunnel up inside to the top of the mountain? Potentially, yeah. You could do something like that. It depends on, you know, like elevation in Dwarf Fortress. It can go really deep and it can go really high. Like, look, we're at minus 30, minus 40, minus 50, minus 62, minus 70, minus 75. You have so much space to do stuff in Dwarf Fortress. I've said that before, that's one of the differences between this game and RimWorld. In RimWorld, space is a lot more constrained, whereas in Dwarf Fortress, you do basically have infinite space. If the exception, maybe on certain maps you don't, but on most places you got as much space as you need. Also, multi-aquifer biomes will often have them at different levels. Gauka's got the correct information there. I don't know all that much about the exact aquifer mechanics because my policy has just been to kind of ignore them. And I also don't tend to do really big constructions that are like map-wide constructions either. So, you know, like, I don't tend to have a fortress that's so big that I notice that there's like an aquifer that's multi-level. After the initial staircase is done, we're just not going to dig on these layers, right? Like, I don't need to dig on this layer. And unless I've got 13 dwarves, which is terrible. 3 dwarven children already. Oh my god. Alright, well, we got a metalsmith. Oh, wait! Hey, Voma! Are you here? It looks like I don't need to name your dwarf after all, because your dwarf from the previous fortress has arrived in this fortress. Not only that, he is still upset about all the things he was upset about the last time he was here. So yeah, like you're still pretty upset about the fact that you haven't been able to pray for a while. So yeah, welcome back. All right, let's go down another layer. Kill the children, it's the only way. I think at least one of the Voma's children has died. You and Brelix are kindred spirits, by the way. Damp stone. Actually, this doesn't look like it's damp stone. I don't think it's damp stone. I think it's damp because it's directly beneath the aquifer. I don't think it is actually on an aquifer tile itself. Because otherwise we would see like wands appearing pretty rapidly. So I guess this is the non-aquifer layer. We'll go down one more layer anyway. I'm not sure why my miners are not mining tasks. I think they're all drinking. So we got a mason. I think we had that mason before. We got another woodworker as well, actually, so that's good. So actually, let's go to our labours here, woodcutters. Yeah, we got 2 there. Hunters, no. Planters, yeah, that's fine. I'm not sure why you didn't dig. Like they dug all of this out except for one of them. Kind of irritating. No, you don't have a dwarf in this fortress, Dennis, unless your old dwarf arrives, which Vummer's dwarf just did. So yeah, like you know, there is that distinct possibility. Is this going to be okay? So this side is not damp, but this side is. I think it might have just been damp because there's a bit of water here. So I'm gonna guess that I'm still gonna dig down. Well, we'll see if that water kind of. Actually, you know what? We'll dig all that out and see what happens. Water starts appearing in these tiles, then we'll know that this is aquifer layer. I'm pretty sure it just thinks it's damp because of this water here. Because all this is damp. But again, no water's appearing. Okay, I think it's just damp because of the roof. We'll go down one more and then we should be fine. There we go. Okay, so this is just where we're going to build our appropriate dig square. Cancel that then. This is just going to be the first level then where we start having bedrooms, and we'll do that first. We'll start with bedrooms, and we're going to try and keep all these dwarves happy. And then we'll also start with workshops now. But I did say the most important thing actually is mechanisms, so I guess we should probably start with workshops. So I'm going to try and do probably the usual way that I do things, just because, again, it's kind of expedient to me. I don't have to think about it. Like, I just kind of... I think everyone develops, like, a preferred method of doing these sorts of things. And I have my preferences for what I like, and I'm going to just keep it at that for now. And we'll have it like that. And you know what? We'll dig it along this way like that. Dig it along this way like that. Like that. We've got 1, 2, 3 workshops on either side here. We'll do is cancel that. And what we could do is we could do it like, yeah, okay, yeah, we'll do it like that. Sorry, I'm just thinking to myself how I'm going to do it. So I've got an idea in my head of how this is going to look in the end. I'm just not going to dig all of it now, and I want to build a reasonable sized workshops area for them to dump stuff. There. Oh, so we got coal. That's good. We should have everything that we need in order to make steel. I'm pretty sure about that. Looks like we still got a bunch of junk up here, which is to be expected. We haven't checked our creatures in a little bit. Just camels still, so nothing too dangerous yet. Our farm has started. They're growing pigtails and all that good stuff, which is great. We can't do any brewing at the moment. One thing that we're going to need is we're going to need some to make a spinner so that they can spin you know, just whatever, just any sort of resources that we need. On aliens. And let's start getting some workshops down. So the first workshop we're going to build is we're just going to build the mechanics workshop. And we're just going to build this out of chalk. And we're just going to build 3 mechanics. And then we can set up a very basic defense. Because we've already got the bridge, we just need to have the lever, and we just need to have the mechanism to pull it. So, a dwarf did start making that, but it looks like they've probably gone to go get a drink, as is tradition. Oh no, he is here. I guess he's just going to go and grab the things that he needs in order to build it. Okay, and then we'll just make some rock mechanisms. 1, 2, 3. Next, we'll build a workshop for a carpenter. We'll build 2 of these. So we'll build 2 carpenters' workshops out of chalk. Then we'll build a crafts workshop here. And then finally, we're just going to build our masons workshops. So they're not called masons workshops anymore. They're called stoneworkers workshops. So we'll put one there and we'll put one here. And that's going to be our starting workshops. That's just all the starting workshops that we need. We can now start doing some tasks. So we'll start making beds. Just do that on repeatedly. I don't care how long it takes you. What the hell is this heresy? What do you mean, this heresy? Oh, do you mean the fact that they're now called stoneworkers workshops? Yeah, I don't know if they changed it. They changed a bunch of the labors around for like mining and, well, not mining, but like engraving and stuff. Yeah, I have no idea why they did it, but it is what it is. You know, the change has been made. You know, it just is how it is. We haven't seen any metal yet, actually, on this level. We've only seen chalk and coal. And carnelians, I guess. And, I mean, that's not a metal still, but... Alright, let's start making some stockpiles. So, the first stockpile I'm going to make is just going to be a furniture stockpile. Actually, I'll make this in a finished goods stockpile. Where is this? Finished goods stockpile. Going to make a stockpile in the middle, which is just going to be for wood, because I want them to move wood downstairs. And then last stockpile I'll make will just be a stockpile for furniture. So this will just be a furniture stockpile. We'll put that there. Okay, cool. So then they should start moving stuff downstairs. And they've cancelled planting that because they ran out of pump helmets. Add new task, brew drink from plant, and just repeat that forever. We could actually look at starting some upstairs farms. We wouldn't be able to do it over here because this is all dead. But we could potentially build some farms up here. You know, kind of where we got our free roaming sheep who are wandering around in the trees over here. So we could build something like that. We did want to build we have a beekeeper, right? We need to get that done soon. That's the priority. You know, because bees are so important for our fortress, right? We can't be without that. Sorry, that was terrible. I should apologize. If you want to unfollow, I completely understand after that. Anyway, let's build let's start by building ourselves a lever. Oh, we need to mine this out, don't we? Yeah. We're going to build it here, so it's going to be built somewhere that's fairly accessible for the dwarves. And we're just going to build it on the top of this staircase. Means, yeah, like that. Make it out of short mechanisms. So this is poor soil, and they have changed the way that farming works. But I'm hoping that so what we've got here is we're growing quarry bush, right? So you can see quarry bush leaf. I don't normally do this. The last time that we did quarry bushes was, I'm pretty sure, when we were doing soap fortress, because it's an excellent source of stuff for soap. But we can also do. Is there a particular dwarf that you want? Is there a particular kind of job that you want, or are you happy with just about anything? Because we've got a few different ones available. We've got a crafts dwarf. Well, actually, we have both our miners now. We have a woodworker. We have a mason. No, because these are vermin. Bees are vermin, so that means that they can't be raised from the dead. Barrel. Alright. How hasn't said what dwarf he wants, so I'm just going to assume that he doesn't mind. Gauka. Yeah, there we go. Do that. You can be the expedition leader. And Gauka wants to play with wood, so we'll make him a woodworker. Yeah, so we're growing quarry bushes. So quarry bushes are really, they're really fat. They're really good. You can make a lot of quarry bushes really fast. You get a lot of food from a single quarry bush. But they need to be processed, and that's what we're going to do in a second. Just as soon as we've linked up, this lever to this bridge. So that's going to be the next thing that we do. So in order to do that, we're going to need to get some more digging up here, I think. I guess we could just do it up here. One, two, three. These are just going to be farmers' workshops. They can be together like that. They don't need to be separated. We'll have 2 of them. I don't think I need 2 of them, but I think having 2 of them will be fine. Actually, you know what? We could have 2. We could have 2. No, that won't do it all. Sod this. Sod this. Sod this. Sod this. Yeah, there we go. That'll do. We still don't know where this biome is reanimating, but the fact that I haven't seen any undead anything walking around makes me think that it isn't. But we'll be able to test this theory soon. But we'll have some. We're going to build a farmer's workshop up here anyway. We've got what? Quarry bush and leaves. Quarry bushes can't be made into alcohol. That's the only thing that's not so good about them. But they are a very good source of food if you need food. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a farmer's workshop here. That's going to be workshop number 1. Then we're going to build a... How much do we want to bother processing these, actually? That's a question. So we can do farmers... workshop, war fortress, because you can go quite deep. Well, not that deep into it, but there are a couple of different things that we could do with them. Because you can crush rock nuts, which are the seeds, but I guess we don't want to mill them for now. So we don't. We can make a mill later, I think. We don't need to do it right now. What we do need is we need a butcher. Need a butcher's. We need a tanner's. Then we need a kitchen. I don't see kitchen on here. Oh, it's in farming, isn't it? Yeah, of course I don't see it. It's all the way over here. Alright. But the spooky music is too much. Like, we're not doing anything particularly spooky at the moment, but the spooky music is just too much. There's very little intrigue going on here. Other than the fact that we're out of wood. I don't really care which trees we cut down. Any amount of trees that we cut down is going to piss off the wildlife, so we may as well just get it early whilst it's still fairly safe for us to do it. Vic Hard has become a carpenter. Yeah, so what we'll do is here, this is just going to be a storage area for leather. So put that there, accept, and then that's going to be leather. Alright, so here is our workshop layer, so we're going to need to dig down some more. So let's cancel. So these are all auto-cancel because there's not enough of these resources left. We'll cancel that one as well. I'm sure that we got enough doors by now. If we need more, we'll dig more. So we're going to dig down once more. We'll dig down twice more. I don't know if this is actually true. Like, my understanding has always been that sound exists in Dwarf Fortress and that dwarves get upset if their bedrooms are near to loud things. So I always like to put a buffer between like the bedrooms and workshops. And I think sound can travel through Z levels as well. But I don't actually 100% know this. Like, this is just something that I've always done. So it could just be something where I've mistaken this as a thing. You know, so like that is something I need to think about. Please make more chairs and doors. We'll make chairs and doors eventually. We need to appoint a manager. That's what we need to do. Oh, beautiful jets walls. All right, so there we go. So we got ourselves an area here where we're going to start building bedrooms. How lavish do we want to make their bedrooms here? Do we want to go for the full lavish bedroom experience, or do you want to go for something a little bit more kind of sedate? Yeah, Nitro. I always made no, bookkeeper was the job I used to give to Nitro. Do we want to give them nice bedrooms for once, or do we want to give them terrible bedrooms? This is the bedroom I usually give them. I feel like there's probably an argument for giving them slightly better bedrooms on the basis that it'll make them happier. Give Nitro a terrible bedroom. Nah, you know what? We'll go with the awful little bedrooms. We're not going to do anything too fancy in this fortress. We need to just get bedrooms up. Like we don't have time to be. I could make worse bedrooms than that. In fact, like I know there are a lot of people who do. They'll make the like the line bedrooms, which just looks horrible. I feel bad for the dwarves when they have rooms like that. I think this is like the minimum appropriate size for a bedroom. But to be honest, the dwarf doesn't necessarily care that much. It's not like RimWorld where you have to make massive bedrooms else they get all upset at you and oh, my expectations, they weren't met, blah blah blah, you know. It's nothing like that. Dwarves are made of sterner stuff, except when they're not. You see, in RimWorld, you guys can be profoundly unhappy, but they'll get over it eventually. If you give them the right things. But dwarves can be quite sturdy up until a point, but eventually they just become so distraught that nothing can fix them. We will generate nice thoughts from having legendary bedrooms because eventually we will engrave every bedroom. That's how we will make all the dwarves have really nice bedrooms, is through engraving. Um, but it means that we can fit more bedrooms into a smaller space. Oh, come on. Don't tell me there's aquifer here. It could be like above. I don't think so though. In any case, it's going to be really irritating. It could be that there's like maybe the cabin is on the level below this, and it's right above the water. Yeah. Ah, there we go. Hmm. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig out the rest of these bedrooms because I've started it and I'll be annoyed if I don't complete it. But we're going to have to then work on making this not flood all the time. But we'll have plenty of time to do it, I think. 'Cause I don't think the entire thing is not the entire thing isn't damp. It's these patches on the either side. So we're gonna give these guys some nice aquifer bedrooms, just because I'm annoyed. I'm gonna give my dwarves like a rotten lung disease or some kind of exotic mold-based infection that you can only get by living in a damp aquifer layer. Yeah, trench foot. We're gonna give all of our dwarves trench foot. I'll have to build the rest of the bedrooms further down though, because I'm not going to do this for all of them. I'm just going to do it for these initial ones. It would be funny until it happened, right? Like, you know, it'd be great until my dwarves actually started getting trench foot. Can you imagine a dwarf getting trench foot because he's been standing in like polluted point? I need tasks. Right. No, it's the wrong one. Craft dwarf. Rock. Make rock crafts. Start making rock crafts because it's autumn, which means the caravan's going to be here soon. But yeah, just imagine that, like in the last fortress, if like standing in all that goblin blood all the time was causing them issues. So we're just going to start putting the doors in, and then we're going to start working on fixing the flooding issue that we've got. At least we'll get some beds down there. Even if they are in the water zone. There you go. Okay, what I'll also do is, just to make this a little bit easier for me, we're going to start making some rock blocks. Do that on repeat. Oh, we didn't tell them to make crafts repeatedly, did we? Rocks. Make rock crafts. Yeah, just do that repeatedly. Might be enough more than I can chew here, but that's fine. Alright, so let's start working on getting this aquifer then. This wall here, so it's kind of like these outer edges ones here, right? So we'll start with this bedroom here. Alright. Have we already started making rock blocks? I guess we can find out when we start trying to place them. So constructions, wall. Don't use the closest material actually, because I want to make sure we're using decent materials for this. Construction, yeah, blocks, yeah. There you go. Is this Rimworld music? It does not sound very dwarvy. I mean, it's pretty calm compared to some of the music we've had so far, right? Like most of the music has just been this horrifying, like, you know, imminent danger sort of music, so I don't mind it so much. I might just have to use Jet, because otherwise it's going to take too long. Jet, and then we'll dig out this. It's the next part. Dog is fighting a giant grey squirrel. We'll find out very, very soon whether we got... oh. So the expedition leader was fighting then. Dwarven child's walking around on the surface. Cockatiel. Alright, the outpost liaison has arrived. That's cool. It's 0 years old. Okay. You don't see any zombies yet. Okay, so now we can construct here. Let's start digging this out on this side here, because this is starting to get really flooded over here. Probably should have started on this side instead of this side. Sorry, I'm just kind of being quiet because I'm like thinking about what I'm doing, so it's a little bit of focus time. So yeah, sorry, I'm not saying so much at the moment. I'm just kind of thinking to myself, I'm going to do this. I wonder if we can pay channel points to force the AoE2 music. I didn't know that it was Aquifer before I started building it, and I decided that I would foolishly try and prevent the flood instead of just moving to a different floor. If it all goes tits up, then we can always move everything around. That's not a problem. But yeah, kind of messed that one up good. Figurines. God, I don't have any bins, so everything is all like cut up at the moment, and it's all over the place. We need to go make some bins so that we can actually move stuff to the trade. To the traders easier. So no, don't make beds. Make bins, wooden bins. Bin, yeah, and just do that on repeat because we're going to need a lot of them. Construction wall here. Okay, and then same again, a wall here. And this is how you very tediously deal with an aquifer. Through lots of tedious fun. By just very slowly replacing all of the outside walls that are aquifer tiles with oh, there's water at that location. Guess there was too much water at that location when I placed that. Drain the aquifer and make the elves pay for it. Sleeping on water seems like it would be very uncomfortable, to be honest. Well, that's why we're just going to slowly filter it all out. It's all going to drain away. Is there anything that we want to request? I'm not going to request anything. I'll just let them bring whatever they want. They want ammunition, which we're probably not going to be able to produce. Let's see. Oh, all our dwarves storing items in stockpile. Oh, because yeah, that's because of the that's because we sent them to build a load of bins. You know what? We'll just tell them to dig all this out. One man versus dwarf versus nature. It's one of the most classic conflicts in dwarf and in all of dwarven history. You know, trying to defeat nature, not for any specifically good reason, just because you can. Let's see about moving some more goods over here now. So crafts, bins. We've got a bin. We've got okay. So we send the finished goods bin over here. So they should then go and move that there, which would be great. This bedroom here is slowly flooding because I've been focusing so much on over here. Go and deal with this one before this becomes a permanently flooded bedroom. It might be easier to decide this is now the farm level, possibly, but no, I've set my mind to it, so I wanna do it, right? Like I've set my mind to the task, so I want to see it through to completion, even though it's entirely pointless endeavor. Like there's no real value to it, but I've still decided I want to do it, so now I'm gonna do it. You know, this is the kind of content that you're here for, right? It's to watch me make stupid decisions. I really need to stop my dogs from going outside and dying, if possible. What we'll do is we'll pasture them all inside. Because they're getting killed by camels and things. I can't actually... You know what? We'll just set a zone here. We'll just make it like a pen pasture zone. We'll just put it in this corridor here for the time being. Let's just assign all our dogs to it. All these roosters there. As we continue to excavate the sodden realm, you know, like trying to tame like Poseidon's realm of water, and you know, whatever else it is that we're doing here. Okay, so we did have the merchants though, and we did send them some bins. So let's see about trading them whilst the Dwarves are doing that. So we'll just request anyone for trading. We don't have anyone who's like a designated broker, unfortunately, and I don't think we will for a while. And do that. True stubborn. Being dwarves are stubborn by nature. That's like part of what they are. And like, you know, if you wanna truly envision what being a dwarf is about, you got to be unreasonably stubborn for no particular reason. So let's start trading some of this stuff. We don't want to trade all of it, so I'm not going to trade the entire bin, but I just want to do like a small trade of some stuff just so that we have traded this year. So we're going to send them a chalk figurine of a larger roach. I'm sure that they can find value in that. Like we don't. So what? This is 25.10. I'm not even going to ask for too much because I have no idea. Like, because we don't have a proper broker, I have no idea how much any of this is worth. So I'm actually just going to ask them for like a barrel of alcohol and probably call it there as far as like trading them is concerned. So let's see. I don't know. Actually, you know what? I would really like some. Did they not have any alcohol? Oh, they have a copy of Unusual Ritual. We previously owned a copy of that in our previous fortress. Okay, spider, yarn, silk, silk, silk. Maybe we just buy some silk off them. Some leather. I don't see. Oh, here we go. Barrels. They have some cage. They have a caged cow, a caged pig. Buy some ale off them. There we go. I bought a single barrel of alcohol off them. Just so that we have bought something off them. There we go. I actually think this is gonna... Most of this water is now going to start evaporating because I'm pretty sure we blocked off all the areas where it was leaking in. Let's start placing down the rest of these blocks and then we'll see how it goes. I know that this is going to be a horrible mishmash of different colours and things, so you're going to have to forgive me for that. But I'm also not going to apologise. I'm going to ask for forgiveness, but I'm not going to apologise. We'll have to keep an eye on this and see whether the water truly is going to leave now or not. They can sleep in muddy bedrooms, you know, they're covered in dirt. That's fine by me. You're still running for MP. Dead stray dog. Instructions. Yeah, okay. So we blocked it all. I think we blocked it all off. Actually, I'm not so sure because there's still number 2s appearing. Oh, it started to rain outside. Merchants are leaving soon. Ahola, get viewer, follow subprime on mistrum.store. God, where do these people keep coming from? I mean, I know where they come from. They're just bots, aren't they? But still. At least it gives me something to do in chat. I wouldn't have anything. I don't have anyone else to ban, so yeah, may as well. Doesn't feel like this is going away. I'm not sure where the water's coming from though. Oh, I know where it's coming from. Actually, I actually know where the water's coming from. It's coming from this corner tile here because I didn't dig out this corner tile and place something there. So there's still some water just leaking through the corner here. So that's where that's coming from. And also from this corner here, the same reason. we go. And the merchants have left to embark on their journey. Begone bot. Fake follows. And we've got more migrants. Our population's already up to 17, and we haven't even built 10 bedrooms. Like, you know, we built, I think, 9 bedrooms in total. What a fortuitous fortress this is turning out to be. Man, I should have just abandoned this level and left it, but hey. At least we can see if we can, if I've got the wits and the skill necessary in order to stop an aquifer from flooding my bedroom chambers. I think that should be every tile. We'll see. It doesn't look like it's still growing, so maybe it isn't. Where else could it be? What I'll do is I will remove this, remove this, remove this. What does your civ like? What does your civ look like anyway? That's pretty good. I'll show it in a second once I've done this. I'm just going to remove these doors. This is still flowing. This is still flowing into here, and I'm kind of worried about that. So what we're just going to do is wall this off. I've reached. It's either one or two things, right? It's either still flooding, or alternatively, yeah. Okay, there you go. Yeah, you can see here it's not flowing, right? So it's not flowing on this side. But I'm pretty sure it's still flowing on this side. So water is still getting in from somewhere. Possibly up here. But I'm not quite sure there's yet. But in any case, I'm just going to leave it. We tried our best. If it is flooding, then eventually this will just fill up very slowly. If not, if it doesn't. At least we got 8 bedrooms out of it. Oh, God. Let's cancel this task. Let's cancel this task. Let's have a look at our dwarves. So we've got 21 population now. And let's actually focus on something important instead of just focusing on rubbish. Like digging even deeper into the fortress. And past this accursed aquifer. Okay, and this is my civilization, by the way. So my civilization is... Where is my civilization, actually? It's round 4. Our civilization is here. And our civilization is in blue here. And we also have an alliance of humans, so we might even get some human caravans coming our way. But we're right next to this dwarven tower here. Yeah, so these in blue are our civilization. The Palisades are twinkling, that's the name of the civilization. We struck pudding stone, which is excellent. When's the mist fall? So, I mean, we could try and make a mist generator. I'm not sure if this is actually... Aquifer. I'm just gonna do it on the safe side. We're just gonna dig even further down. So we'll just go construction, wall. Although actually, I don't think it is. No, it isn't. This is yeah, this is not actually this is not aquifer, because otherwise this tile here no. Not. Yeah, I think it is. I think this is aquifer layer. I was just so excited to see pudding stone, you know. I thought, here we go, we can have some nice delicious pudding stone. But I guess it just wasn't meant to be. I hate aquifers. Once we've dealt with this, we can then get onto the business of actually building our fortress. At least we've got a lot of dwarves now, so you can come and just place constructions. And they're getting very good at it as well, aren't they? No, it does clear. It does clear. You can tell actually because there was areas where we had water before because of this aquifer. Because we've already pumped through one level of aquifer. I think you can get up to 3 levels of aquifer, and that'll just destroy me. That'll just destroy me spiritually if we got like 3 different aquifer layers. Like, is that actually true? I think it's like, yeah, this will all evaporate eventually. Like, this water will vanish on this level, or it should. If we give it enough time, yeah, you can see it here. It's going. I'll let all this dry out. Let's you know what, sod it. Let's leave that for now. We've got on a few bedrooms. We'll designate these bedrooms that we built, and then we can always have some more bedrooms eventually. Multi. That's some bedrooms for some of our dwarves, not all of them. And you can see here, this is still flooding, so there's definitely water leaking in from somewhere, probably from like this tile, if I had to guess. But I'm not sure exactly where. Yeah, just don't think about the problem, maybe it'll go away. I don't see why anyone would dislike aquifers. Yeah, I don't, you know, like, it's just an aquifer, right? It's nothing too bad. Let's cut down some more trees. Speaking of which, just ravens at the moment, so we should be safe on tree cutting. Got all of these creatures inside here. Yeah, so, oh, I set this up ages ago, didn't I? Process plant to bag. Let's make, do we have we don't have a leather workers workshop, do we? So we actually need one of those. Put the leather workers here. How does it feel to not have to dig on an aquifer level? It's fun and exciting, isn't it? Alright, so... yeah, we'll do that here. Then we'll do another workshop. Which would be for farming again. No, clothing. Loom. Clothes, just a general clothes workshop. Put this here. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, this is slowly evaporating. And we'll start thinking about bees, and then we'll also make some nest boxes as well. Rock. Make nest box. Rock, nest box. Rock. Rock, nest box. Oh, they finally found the skeleton of the stray dog that was died ages ago. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I guess we could use it as a cistern. Potentially, we could potentially dig over the top of here. Although, like, I don't know if this is aquifer level as well. Like, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Who knows? So what we're going to do here is we're going to dig out a room for our geese. You know, not our geese actually. We bought chickens this time. I actually bought chickens instead of geese, which might surprise people because I normally bring, you know, I normally like to bring geese with me, but today I decided we'd bring chickens instead. So, no massive goose room today. We're gonna actually just have chickens instead. I'm not even gonna keep them locked in. I'm actually just gonna leave the door open. But we're gonna allow the dwarves to grab the eggs and use them in order to just eat. Yeah, we'll have some delicious chicken eggs available for our dwarves. You know, they can have some eggs for their breakfast. It'll be good. It'll be good for them. I'll just dig it up here. Oh, this spooky music is too much. Okay, let's make a new pen and pasture. We have got a temporary one, but we're going to get rid of that eventually. Over here, we're going to put our roosters and our hens. So they're going to go in there. A stray dog and a stray ewe have both given birth. That's good. Carpenter's workshop. Let's make a couple of doors. Make a door. Make a wooden door. Excellent. Alright, so now that the chickens are in here, what we can do is we can place those next nest boxes that we placed earlier. So these are in workshops farming for some reason. I'm not sure why they're in here. It's kind of an irritating place to put them. But we'll place... Okay, well, we've gotten one. We've gotten one so far, but at least that's a start. There you can see the stray hen claims the eggs, the nest box. So she's laid some eggs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to really quick forbid these eggs so that that dwarf doesn't pick them up. And creatures... Agitated giant mosquito. Is everybody inside my fortress at the moment? Oh, it's dead. How did it die? Wait, did it get crushed by the door? Don't think it did. But something killed it anyway. Oh wait, you're going to fight. The agitated giant mosquito pushes the miner in the right leg. Okay, so it looked like in the time when I was trying to kill it, they smushed it to death. Okay, never mind. This lever doesn't need to be pulled anymore. Pull it again. I need them to dump that outside though, because otherwise it's gonna smell. Oh, actually, they didn't even close it in time, so yeah, someone's already gonna go pull it again. There you go. Okay, let's just make a stockpile out here. This is just temporary. Eventually we'll get a more permanent solution for this, but we'll just make this into a refuse stockpile. Refuse. So they'll go and put like the corpse outside and stuff. So it's not going to be sitting there and like, you know, creating miasma. I'll also put out other bits of refuse. Oh, actually. Oh, it looks like agitated giant mosquito mangled skeletons are on the menu, boys. Because the mosquito was killed close enough to our butcher shop, our butcher automatically prepared it and turned it into meat. So yeah. So we got the chitin and everything else, but yeah. So it looks like meat's back on the menu, boys. Yeah, yummy mosquito man meat or whatever it was. I don't think... No, a giant mosquito meat. God, creatures are so fast in this game. It's really hard to keep track of what they're doing. Like, I unpaused that game and in seconds that mosquito was inside the fortress. But, you know, we got to be careful with that kind of stuff. Like, it's really dangerous now. It's not like it was where you could just safely ignore most wildlife. Like, that's why I haven't done the beekeepers yet, because I need to think about, like, beekeepers, they need to be outside, so, like, they need to be damp stone detected. Oh, I love it. I love me some damp stone. Love me, I love my damp stone. I love damp stone. It's just a mosquito anyways. It is just a mosquito, but it could also just be a two-humped camel, for example. Or something equally nasty, right? Like, there could be plenty of other things, you know, that could eventually cause problems. Yeah, this is definitely a fortress that has had dwarves in it. It's a pretty terrible fortress as well. Yeah, bees need tiles that see in sunlight, that's correct. More pudding stone, which I'm guessing this is going to mean that this is an aquifer layer. I'm just going to assume that it is. But it might not be. Let's see if we got any more ones showing up. Okay, I'm going to... Oh, there they are, the ones. They're here. I was just about to say, we're going to dig down one more level just to confirm, just to make sure, but I don't think this is it. But it was, in fact, it. It was, in fact, more aquifer. Just aquifer forever and ever and ever. Just never ends. We're going to get all the way to the cavern and we're still going to be dealing with this. Oh well. Yeah, what we could do is we could basically channel out an area here. So we would, so let's say right here, right? So we got this here. We would say we'd go one level up and we'd channel something out. So we could have our beekeeping area. I don't know, where would we want it? We want it somewhere relatively secure, so possibly on from here. I don't remember aquifers being this awful. I don't know if there's been a change this patch, but I actually don't recall it being this just nasty. Like I remember, I mean, this isn't like instant aquifer, right? But at the same time, it's still pretty nasty. So yeah, we can make that into like a bee room. So instead of doing like that, what we'd do is we would have it. Well, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. We want to do it in a way that's more secure than that. I think there are better ways to do it. Like for example, one way we could do it would actually just be to do it on this side over here, just like wall off an area. So we could, for example, just mine out a big chunk of area over here, and just run a big corridor all the way along here. But that does create the root problem that we've discussed previously. There's lots of ways we could do it potentially. I think we'll just deal with the aquifer problem first before we can even start doing bees. I know bees are fun and all, but fundamentally there are more useful things in the game than bees right now, like being able to find where we can safely build bedrooms, for example. The world is 70% water, or is that the human body? Or maybe it's both of those. We'll have bees eventually, okay? Just be patient. We will get there. Not having any designation cancels because of damp stone, it looks like, so maybe we've finally broken through. I keep thinking any moment now we're just going to pop into the caverns, and I'm just going to have to bash my head against the wall, just in frustration. Because the whole premise was that we wouldn't have to open the caverns early, and then we're just going to inadvertently do it. I see. They cancelled the designation because of damp stone again. Um, so now we have to do the exact same process again, because I'm pretty sure that this is aquifer level as well, and then the one beneath is also aquifer. That's what one, two, three, four, 5 layer aquifer. We just need to get past this accursed pudding stone. Where is that? Where is that wall? Which wall? Okay. It's banging your head against. Oh yeah. I meant metaphorically, of course. Look, if I banged my head against the wall, I wouldn't be able to stream, okay? So you have to wait. I'll have to wait until I finish the stream. That being said, I also need to upload this to YouTube, so it'll have to be after I've uploaded this to YouTube. You know, there's going to be a little bit of a time delay between this. Can we change our fort's name to Underwater Fort? Possibly, yeah. Maybe that's what we need to change it to. Remember when we actually did Brelix? Were you there for Water Fort? We actually tried it. We've tried Water Fort before, and that was the Shore of Death. That was the one where we accidentally flooded our entire fortress, and we also left our anvil outside by accident. So we've done that one before. Oh, you weren't there for that one. Okay, none of these walls are wet. I think once we've gone past the jet and pudding stone level, is this it? Pudding stone. Every time I see pudding stone, I know that I've been betrayed, and that we've got another level of this to go. This one. The worst part is that they cancel their designations, and that's the other reason this takes forever. They're constantly cancelling their designations. I had to go back in and redo it all. I had to dig this out. This is an aquaphil level, so we have to dig all this out. Place blocks here. I have to do it in a specific order as well, because if you don't do it in the specific order, the way I'm doing it like this, if you block off the corner pieces first, then the dwarves will build there and they will be unable to do these corner pieces. So you need to do it in a very specific way. Limestone, that's a new stone that we've not seen before. That is a promising sign. Surely limestone can't betray us. Limestone is a flux stone. Hematite, microline. Those are some of my favourite stones. Unlike the blasted pudding stone. We already had flux because we had chalk. But still. Come on, is this going to be it? We dig this out. See, no water is generating up here. Still generating up here, which makes me think that it is the pudding stone. I think the pudding stone is the final boss of this aquifer. Although I'm sure that we're just about to encounter his next form. Alright, pray for me. Yeah, limestone has gold, that's true. Look, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? We have some. We won't dig on the jet layer because jet has betrayed us before. Or actually, no. I mean, this is micro. Okay, let's try and dig on the. Oh, but this is all damp. It says damp, but that's because it's above this, the pudding stone layer. So surely this is not gonna. Surely we can dig this out. Okay, let's try it. Let's start thinking about a dining room because we got a lot of miserable dwarves. Let's start simple. Let's start offices. Let's start offices. Again, no water. Again, no water. Oh no! Where'd that come from? Aquifer doesn't drip down from the roof. So it's generating off of these walls here. This makes me want to dig. No. Oh wait, it might be coming from here actually. We didn't dig this one out. I'm just gonna do this just for the sake of my own sanity. The tooltip says it's not wet on this one, so I'm pretty sure this one's safe. I just wanted to see whether the one above it was safe because it had limestone in it, which is, you know, a flux stone. Alright, now we can finally start building our actual fortress. Yeah, it took the whole stream. And we got some very upset dwarves. But that's fine. We're going to make them happy. Most of this is just unmet needs from praying, so maybe we need to make some temples. A legendary... Is this from our previous fortress as well? I'm pretty sure we named the legendary weaponsmith. So this might be an unrelated legendary weaponsmith. Still, it's good that we've got one. Right, what we'll just do then is we'll have 2 offices there. So this will be office 1, this is office 2. We then need to make some temples, so let's do that on this level. Alright, so we'll have a couple of temples up here. And this is going to be like our temple complex. We can also have a tavern on this level as well, can't we? Now this is proper dwarven music. Just checking to make sure that's all correct. Yep, it's correct. Let's do that there. Okay, so we got the chicken room done as well. I hadn't forgotten about that. After all this digging, we're finally starting to actually dig something substantial. After 2 hours of just being in this hellhole. Real dwarf music would involve randomly generated instruments. Now that would be pretty nightmarish, but probably also be interesting to listen to. And yes, look at that. We've got access to limestone for certain. No messing around with any sort of nasty aquifer layers. We got limestone on our confirmed safe layer. I crossed both my fingers when I said that. Oh, okay, thank God. I saw that pop up. I saw that pop up, and I thought it was going to be designation cancelled, damp stone detected. But no, it was just some hematite. Time to find an aquifer. Yeah, because we really need to find another aquifer, don't we? Actually, we might build some workshops deeper down. I'm not going to bother making a hotkey for those bedrooms. I'm just going to pretend that those ones don't exist. Then we'll do one here. Ample, sense that here. And then beneath this, we can have our bedrooms. What puddle of water, Brelix? What puddle of water are you referring to? I don't see any puddles of water, do you? It sounds like you're trying to. It sounds like you're trying to bring something into reality here, Mr. Brelix. Something that shouldn't be spoken about. Here we go. So, right. So we can go back to our workshops now, and we can tell you to stop making rock blocks. I no longer need them. So we're going to need doors. Actually, cancel that. Let's let's make a table. Make a table. Then we'll make a chair. And make a chair. So this is going to be where our temples go. But before we do that, I'm just going to start by making the manager's offices first. So what we're going to do is we're just going to place down a table and chair in both of these rooms. And we'll start with the manager first because he's the most important. Alright. So now we can assign this as an office. Paint. Accept. And now we don't have we haven't even looked at our dwarves. We've had so many dwarves who've arrived and we haven't really looked at any of them. So we're just going to assign one of these guys to be our manager. Someone who's preferably not that useful. Like Datton over here, who is an animal caretaker. I guess we have call for animal caretakers. We could have him train our dogs to be war dogs, for example, but that's his only skill. And you can see here he's got no specific labors enabled or anything. So we're going to make him the manager. So let's go to our noble screen. Managers. Congratulations to him. He's going to get a promotion. So where is he on this? Why can't I see him? And he's right at the bottom. No relevant skills. He doesn't need any. And then to there. So he's going to have his office here. And this is going to be the other office here. And this is going to be for our bookkeeper. There is no water in Revered Stakes. That is correct. There is no water here. There's actually never been an aquifer here. Okay, so who's going to be our bookkeeper then? So, again, looking at our dwarves, who's kind of surplus to requirements here. What's this guy's skills like? He's an adequate weaponsmith. We don't need... We've got a legendary weaponsmith, so we don't really want him to be doing weaponsmithing. So, Led here can go and become our bookkeeper then. Where is he, Mr. Led? Led, the weaponsmith. There we go. Okay, so he's going to come here and do our bookkeeping, and then we should now be able to go here and start placing some work orders. So let's start with rock doors. We're not select specifically what kind of rock we wanted to make. I thought we could. Oh well, whatever. Just make rock doors. Okay, so if the amount of rock doors available is less than 10, make more doors. Oh yeah, and we can set the material here, so we want it to be microline specifically. Because I like the blue doors. We need the doors for the temples, so that's going to be the first thing here. And once we've got the temples, they'll have somewhere to pray, and that'll help a lot of these dwarves with their unmet moons, because it's been about a year since we set up the fortress. And our food situation is not looking grand, is it? It's really not, because we kind of neglected to deal with any of our food. So what we're going to do is, we have some quarry bush leaves. So let's go to our leather workers over here. And we're going to... Actually, what we'll do is... I'm going to set up a new one, which is going to be to make bags out of leather. And we're going to set this down to just a small order. So just 5 leather bags. We're going to set a condition on this, which is the amount of empty bags is less than 5. And the amount of tanned hides is greater than 5. And check that repeatedly. And we're then going to set a new one, which is going to be process plant to bag. Do that 5 times, and the condition is going to be the amount of empty bags is greater than 5. And the amount of things that can be processed is greater than 5. Unrotten bag processable plants. Okay. Although I think shouldn't these have been quoted protests, or do they have to cook them first before they can be used? It's been ages since I've done quarry bushes. So I know it's a really good source of food, but they had to be cooked at the kitchen in order for them to be edible. Right, okay. So we then need to cook. So let's make a new order, which is going to be cook. Fine, simple meal. Prepare and lavish meal. And we will set some conditions on this. And set this to less than, I don't know, just 50. I think that should all be fine. We should have loads of quarry leaves that they should be able to process. There's the quarry bushes on autumn as well. Yeah. Got hen eggs. I don't know if we got anyone who's like a designated. We probably want someone to be a designated cook actually. I don't just want randos to do it. The reason is because it used to be the case that food was that food was a very valuable sort of commodity to sell, right? So let's say that this guy here is going to be our cook, right? So only he's allowed to cook. And in fact, because we've already got a woodworker, like, what's this guy's skill set? He's a legendary woodcrafter. Okay, so I definitely want him to do legendary woodcrafting. But he can cook as well. It's not something that he needs to do all the time. Gauka is cooking here, but as soon as Gauka's finished his first meal, then they should... oh, forbid that. Okay, so I actually need to go in here. So this is something I always forget to do. Oh, there's a bunch of keys around. Work orders. Kitchen. So this is all the stuff that we got in our fortress at the moment. You can see here we got pigtails, we got pulp helmets, quarry bush leaves, etc., etc. We have some rock nut seeds, for example. I think I had to re-enable this, don't I? So unforbid that. But the game should be paused, so it should still be there. So work orders, labor, kitchen, mosquito tallow. I don't want them to cook tallow. So I want them to put the tallow back into the stockpile, but I don't want them to cook with it. So I told them that they're not allowed to cook. And then likewise, we should also set up a brew drink from plant work order. And we'll just set this up. So if the amount of available drinks is less than 10, and the amount of all those, and then we should also set up a barrel one. Barrel. Wooden barrel. There we go. So those should all be set up now. So that's just a little bit of very basic automation that'll get us our food going. What's the problem with tallow? Tallow is used for the production of soap. So, and so long as tallow is in the stockpile, it's never going to go out. It never rots, right? So because tallow is used in the production of soap, we want to save it for when we're ready to make soap. That's the only reason. That's the specific reason why I don't want them to cook it into meals. Because otherwise it's just a complete waste, right? Like, are you just making a plump helmet lavish meal? Have they changed how lavish meals works? I thought they needed to use alcohol. Can they actually just make a plump helmet roast with nothing else in it? The ingredients are plump helmet, plump helmet, plump helmet, and plump helmet. Okay. Hey, Krebsig. No, we're not dead yet. Everything has kind of gone into a lull. We had a little bit of a nasty time trying to place, trying to get digging done, but we've managed to move past this now. So now we're just building our temples. So everything is good in the world. Everything is right and just. Now we're going to start making some temples. The Rumored Creed, a bunch of different religions we got. But our first one, to Odd the Subtle, because he is the most praised. The god of death and misery is like the most popular religion in this particular fortress, as he was in my last fortress. So again, we need to praise Odd the Subtle and you know, do all that, and we'll set up a new one for the Shrine of Burning for Imast over here, so that they got one to worship there. Meditating on darkness. Meeting area. I don't want them standing indoors and doing this. Don't stand in the doors and do that because that's awkward. But yeah, you can meditate on darkness in here, and then this one here. We paint this zone, and let's also get everybody to engrave all of this whilst they're at it. We'll start engraving this to make it a high value area. Lavish pump helmet everything meal. That's what you go when you go to McDonald's, right? That's what you order. Although it looks like they're going to prepare a lavish cave lobster and pump helmet meal, so that's a new one. Needs pump helmet spawn. Oh! And it looks like we're going to get our first artifact from this dwarven child who is 13 years old. And they're making it out of apricot wood logs, and that's literally it. So this is going to be a terrible artifact. I can't wait to see it. Maybe it's going to have a carving of a dwarf drowning in a pudding stone aquifer. I mean, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Right. So we've now finally gotten our temples done. The next thing is to get the bedrooms done, and then the dining room or tavern done. We'll build a tavern. I think we'll go full tavern mode. But at the very least, people should now be able to commune with their gods, which should help them with their needs, you know. I'm just going to disassemble all of these bedrooms, honestly. And yeah, look at Mebzov Zugla's Shin, dwarven child, has created Tedemem, an apricot wood rodder. She offers it to the mine of age. You're probably wondering what a rodder is, but I know what it is. If you've been watching any of the previous streams, you'll know what it is. Let's have a look at this object. This is an apricot wood rodder. All craft worship is of the highest quality. This object menaces with spikes of apricot wood. The rodder is a mid-sized handheld conical ball-bone wind instrument. And then it gives us a massive description of the instrument here. We've seen this before. But yeah, so she's made a flute, basically. It's a procedurally generated instrument. I mean, we actually do need some rodders, funnily enough. We need them for our temple. But, that's a concern for another time. That's not a right now concern, right? Alright, we're going to dig down another layer. Let's pray that there's not a new aquifer down here. It is Jet, which is always concerning. We've been betrayed by Jet before. Oh, what's this? The Prophet is visiting. It's always interesting to see just the weirdos who arrive in your fortress, like this guy here. Thickets, Bomb Reckle. If he can make it inside the fortress without being killed by the giant mosquitoes who are outside, then congratulations. Neighbours, engraving. Yeah, you guys can also engrave because you're both proficient engravers as well. That's why I gave you proficient engraving. Come on, Jet Water. Oh man, you really want to see me suffer, don't you? It looks like we're going to be fine. No Jet Water today. You know what? To commemorate, we're going to give them nice bedrooms, eh? We're going to give them massive bedrooms. Oh, I'm sorry that these don't meet your standards for massive. This is at least 3 tiles larger than the average dwarven bedroom. You know, that's significantly big. You know, like when you rent a house in London. Oh god, I saw some posts recently about some of the properties that are on the market in London, and it's awful. Can't imagine like trying to rent somewhere like that. Terrible, terrible, terrible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like just awful little rabbit holes. And we're doing the same thing to our dwarves here. Well, at the very least, they get to live in the fortress proper, so you know they got kitchens and things. I could do with the... Oh, we also need to set up some orders for cabinets, don't we? And beds and things. Let's do that. Rock cabinet. The cabinets. We'll make all of our cabinets out of jet because it's a cool thing to do. Bed. I don't really care what we make the beds out of. You know, it can be made out of anything, but we just need beds. So amount of beds available is that and that. And then that should be everything that we need for the bedrooms because we've already got a door production set up. So. At least one of our dwarves is happier. We've actually managed to improve the happiness of at least one of our dwarves. This guy wants to craft an object and spray the sprayed ham. An unmet need to be creative and to create objects. So what's that guy's name? That's our manager, wasn't it? Our manager has a need to be creative. No, he's our bookkeeper. Oh well, we'll have a look into that later. We're gonna disassemble all these beds. Wish there's a mass removal button. I don't see a mass removal button on here. This is for dumping, melting, remove hidden designations to hide objects. I don't see one for mass removals. I guess we just have to go through and we cancel the removal of the doors. It's really just the beds that I want. There you go. And spring has arrived. That's the first year completed in the fortress. And that means we're probably going to get migrants soon. But still. Hey, you know, we've managed to do some good here. We started to make our bedrooms a bit nicer. So now we can just got 10 bedrooms instead of 8 bedrooms. We built in entirely 2 more bedrooms. If only Miss Potatoes Young would be all over it. He's Marcoline. That's fine, we'll dig some more out soon. Speaking of which, we do need to get some more temple rooms, but we've gotten some basic temples here. We could do digging out a dining room just to start with, like a basic dining room perhaps. And then we could look at building a tavern. Let's do that. Let's build a basic dining room. It's just going to be a very basic sort of affair. And we should also have a stockpile near this as well. We'll just put a food stockpile down here next to this. No, we don't have any tables and chairs. Let's just make a one-off order for some tables and chairs. Got plenty of jet still, so we'll use jet for that. We'll open the labor menu. Asks menu, sorry. Then we'll do some tables. Rock. Let's just make yeah, 10 of them is fine for now. But I just want this to be a one-off order, so we'll set the material type to jet, which we've got loads of. And we'll do a similar one for thrones. I always forget that I need to write the material first and then type the rest in. So yeah, we've got the rock thrones there. We'll make those out of jet. Okay. There's maybe some more wheelbarrows. I just thinking about it. Look at these sad sack temples that they're in. What kind of thoughts have you had recently? Annoyed about having to drink without stuff, but I mean, yeah, our dwarves are starting to get happier. They've got some meager quarters now. Set this as a food stockpile, although I don't want any seeds in this one. None. No seeds here. Don't want any of these. Don't want any misc liquids. I don't want any animal extracts. Press cakes are fine. Don't want any paste though. No fats. No milled plants. No unprepared fish. Okay, and now that we've got some cabinets as well, we can start putting some cabinets in the room. I would always recommend putting cabinets in dwarves' bedrooms, by the way. And like, I don't think I've mentioned this on the previous streams, but it's a really easy way to make the dwarves happier. You can use chests as well. It doesn't have to be cabinets. You know, if you got a preference for one or the other. But basically, it's just it makes them happier. And also, if the dwarves have gotten rotten clothing, you know, if their clothing is rotting off, they'll put it in their cabinet. You know, like so it's useful for that reason as well. So yeah, it just cleans up the bedrooms a little bit. You won't go into your bedroom and see like, oh, why are they not doing this order here? Prepare drink from plant. I'm gonna guess what they've done is that they've used all their I'm gonna guess what they've done is that they used it all for preparing lavish meals. Let's lower this. Let's lower this down to 20. Kitchen. I've got a pigtail here. Wait, how can we have no plum helmet seeds? Unless they've cooked all the seeds, which would be incredible if they have. Is that not disabled by default? Kitchen seeds. We don't have any plum helmet seeds? A minute. There's quarry bushes. Meals. Okay, right. I'm not sure how they've managed that. That's interesting. There is a solution. This isn't a game-ending thing or anything, although it's very, very irritating. What we're just going to have to do is we're going to have to tell our dwarves to go outside and just go collect a bunch of outdoor plants. Just gather fruits. Just tell a bunch of our dwarves to go outside and gather fruits. This is probably going to agitate the wildlife a hell of a lot. We'll tell everybody that we want them to go gather fruits immediately. At least for the time being, until we've gotten enough alcohol again. And then once we've done that, we're gonna disable this lavish meal task here, because obviously we need to have a look into that. So they should go out onto the surface now and start collecting some strawberries and things like that. Alright. And then we can click on our still, create new task, brew a drink from plant, and just repeat that. We'll make some emergency drinks. I think we'll buy some alcohol as well when the traders come in autumn. Tasks, gather plants. Everyone's gathering plants. Okay, so no one is actually doing that yet. Someone will come do that eventually. Though I'm not sure why no one is doing it. You're going to go for a drink from plants. I was rained on. I feel so dejected. Seriously, man? Get a grip. Oh, he's making quinoa. Why? Doesn't matter. Just any kind of alcohol. Because we haven't got any, apparently. No idea where these plum helmet seeds went, though. That has really confused me. The only thing I could think of is that, like, tasks like gather plant, neighbour, kitchen. These. The only thing I could think of is that we had it enabled so that they were allowed to cook seeds, which they shouldn't be. They can cook almonds, because almonds are not used for anything other than cook those as well. Yeah, just brew all the. You can cook those. We are getting some drinks now. Oh, we'll have to think about this a little bit later anyways. Obviously something weird has happened, and I'll probably think of the answer after I finish the stream. But I'm just not quite sure what it is that's occurred. Like, you know, there's specifically caused me to run out of plump helmet seeds. It's not the end of the world. We're growing pigtails. Yeah, and have we run out of quarry bush seeds? We can't have run out of quarry bush seeds. We've got quarry bushes, so they should actually be processing the quarry bushes. But it doesn't look like they are doing that either. Process plants bag. I say it's because they don't have enough quarry bushes to process. Let's just set that up as a task real quick. No, it's not starvation. Thankfully, we got access to not dead plants on the surface, so right here, like they're finally getting on it, and we're also, like I say, we're also growing pigtails. We will be soon. We can also grow cave wheat. It's just that for whatever reason, we managed to use up all of our seeds, I guess, as recipes or whatever. Everyone knows that. Oh, kitchen. I don't want them to cook any of these into meals. We can leave meals for a bit anyway, because we've got loads of meals, and they'll last a while. So many dogs like running around. We should butcher some of our dogs. What we should do. Potato wine, aka. I'm curious. I guess the only thing is that we must have somehow cooked them, because it's the only thing I can think of. But as you can see, like we're getting, we could actually consider building an outdoor farm. Outdoor farms are incredibly efficient compared to indoor farms, I think, especially on this patch. So I think in theory an outdoor farm is probably more efficient than like an indoor one. What kind of so these are ginkgo trees, and there's also apricot. Okay, so that's where they're getting the apricots from. The apricots. We set this to much higher than that. Alright. Still, one benefit of this is that it's going to give the dwarves a variety of different beers for them to use, right? And it's going to give them a load of different beers that they'll be able to use, which will help them. Drinking a variety of beer is one of the things that actually can make them happier. How is this dwarf upset after like making an artifact? How do you be upset after you've created an artifact? Like what's Asob here upset about? Pray to Odd the Subtle. Pray to Ahmed. We do have Odd the Subtle temple. We can build one more temple actually. We can build two more. We should do that before I finish the stream. Steps, temple to new temple. Amud, the god of revenge. Please don't get your revenge on me. Do it on someone else. And then who's the last one? It is going to be for... No, I don't want that to be an inn. I want that to be a temple. Let's go with I Must Canker Crypt, because I know a bunch of them want to worship him as well. Alright, I'm going to save the game here anyway. But yeah, so we've made a start on a new fortress. We'll be back again at some point. I'm not sure exactly when. But thanks everybody for watching. We managed to get through the initial kind of maybe a bit slower parts, and now hopefully we'll start having some more interesting bits in the next stream. And hopefully we'll have some bees as well. I'm sorry that we didn't have any yet. But I'm sure there'll be time for bees. Bees are plenty. There will be plenty of time for that in the future. But But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys again. Next time.